Hello, everybody. I'm Jane Fitzgerald. I'm still at the University of Central Lancashire, and I teach health informatics and health research across a range of different programmes. So that's from literally brand new undergrads who've never done any studying at university before, through to those who are returning to study and are terrified, through to level 7 MSc students. So they all have their different challenges. As a university, we use Vevox for polling and for word clouds and so on and so forth. We have a license with them. There are obviously other polling software available, but we use Vevox, and there are reasons as to why we use Vevox, which I hope you'll see in a few minutes. So I just need to explain. I have a visual impairment, so things are, sometimes I'll be looking at a screen and you'll be seeing the side of my head. So I apologise for that, but it's the way that it is today. So I'm just going to share. And hopefully you can see my Vevox screen. Now, of course, I can't see any of you. Right. Okay.
It's all good. So, we can see it, Jane.
Excellent. Thank you. So the very first thing to do is to log in. You'll see that you can log in. You can register for free. Students, and this is one of the things that I like about Vevox, is that they don't have to register at all. So everything can be completely anonymous. And, I'm sure your students are the same as my students. It's like, not another app that I have to register for. So the first thing of note is how very, very clean the Vevox dashboard is. You can see here I've got 3 set up. I'm going to show you how to set everything within one session. These 3 are separate because I use them across a range of different classes. So I don't tend to set them into one session. I tend to keep them separate. But for now, we're going to create a whole new session, which is going to be, I'll just call it Vevox webinar. Now, the first thing I do always with a new group of students is an icebreaker, just so that it gets them into the swing of, starts to get them to think about things. And one of the things that I do, I always use word cloud for that. And there's a group of students who usually they're international students. They've come to the UK. They're very, very nervous. They're very quiet. I'm sure if you have international students, you'll find the same thing. And this is just a way of getting them engaged, getting them to think about things, getting involved with actually taking part, because a lot of international students just want books. Give me the book to read. Give me the book to read. It's like, no, we're actually going to make you think. So in a lot of cases with these particular students, they've never done any research ever. So the very first thing I do is a word cloud with them. We just click on create, and you can see here that if you click on multiple, where it says multi-choice, there's a whole range of different types of poll that you can do. I've only got 10 minutes. I'm going to show you a tiny amount of what we can do. But for now, just click on word cloud. So my question is, what is your favourite colour? So you can imagine new group of international students, none of whom know each other. They're in a strange country. They know nothing and they're terrified. So what's your favourite colour? I usually, to be honest, just apply the default poll settings. If you want to customise them, you can do all sorts of things. So you can enable countdowns, for example, if you want to do that. I don't tend to do that, certainly at this stage, because I think it can make the students really quite anxious if they've got that. You have 10 seconds left. So you've decided what your question is. You decided it's a word cloud. We're just going to have default poll settings, and then I'm going to click on create. So it's there and it's ready now. Now, if I wanted to, I could have created that in PowerPoint. And it's very straightforward. You have a PowerPoint add-in, you click on that button and it sets it all up for you. I don't tend to do it within PowerPoint for me because, as I say, I have a visual impairment. So I don't want to be doing too much on a smaller screen. So I tend to do it this way, but I have used it in PowerPoint. Always do present full screen. Now I'm hoping that you can see the full screen where it says this session has not started. Phil?
Sorry, yes, we can, yes.
Excellent. That was the right answer. Otherwise, I was going to have to unshare it and share this bit again. Right. What I would like everybody to do now, please, is to scan. Well, it's to go to Vevox, and that's the ID number there for the session. I'm going to click on live in a minute, or scan that QR code there. I'm going to start the session, and I'm going to open the poll. So I do everything from within this screen. So what I'd like you to do now is to tell me what your favourite colour is. So it's the Vevox app. You can do it on your laptop, you can do it on your phone. The meeting ID is 154-872-757. For those of you who are really clever, you can just scan the QR code and it should take you straight through. So what you're able to see at the moment is what I can see, and also what the student sees from the app end of it. Oh, lovely, look at this. Over 200 people already. This is where we break Vevox. I've never found a way of doing that yet, but I'm just thinking, oh.
Just while this is running, I think we've had a couple of questions about max numbers. I think it's over 5,000, I think. Yes. I think that's certainly the numbers that we've got at Kent. Yeah.
So you'll see you've got a toolbar here. Yes, I was just saying I've never found that there's been too many people, and I've used Vevox with quite large groups. So if I want to show the results, sometimes we don't want to show students the result, we want them to think for themselves. But if we want to encourage people to take part, then it's really quite nice to be able to show the results as it's going along. There we go. So as you can see, 50 Shades of Grey. Oh, somebody's put 5,000 user limit. Thank you very much. So I'd never found that limit. So I think it's nice for the students, certainly if it's the first activity they've ever done with you, to actually see it developing and giving them ideas. And this is a pretty straightforward one. I'll show you one a little bit later on, which is a little bit more complex. Loadout red. I don't know what loadout red is, but it sounds lovely. Chartreuse, yes.
We've got a couple of minutes left, Jane.
Claret and blue. Is that Aston Villa? Right, okay. So if you can see in the top right-hand corner now, we've got 268 people, and that we've had 268 answers. So there we have the word cloud. We can just stop it now, just close the poll. So what I'm going to say to my students now is, we've just done research. We can see that out of a group of 267 people, the favourite colours are green or blue, closely followed by purple and then yellow. And that's a really neat way of showing them that we all do research all the time in lots of different ways. So to leave that, and I'll show you some other things that I do afterwards. So I want to show you now just a couple of other things that we can do. Oh, I should just show you. So here, if you want to reuse this in the future, you can just delete responses and then you can reuse it, which is what I do on a perpetual basis. So next time, what are we going to do next time? So we have a multiple choice. We can do a text. We can do a ranking. We can get people to rank things in order of preference. I've never actually used numeric, and I will get round to that. There's a rating scale. I've never used the XY plot either, and once again I will get to that. Now, pin on image is something where I've used it. I can put a map up and say, where is this country, or it can be an anatomy. So it's going to be a human body. Tell me where the liver is. Tell me where the hallux is, whatever it might be. So that's that sort of thing. But generally, it's just going to be multiple choice. So I'm going to ask you now, what is your favourite car? And this is where you can then put in a whole load of choices. So we're going to say BMW, we're going to say Mercedes, we're going to say Ferrari, and then we're going to do, oops, can't type now, can I? But you can see how easy it is to set all of this up. Oh, I can't type. Right, so we've got these. Now we can set one of these as the correct answer. Of course, the correct answer is anything that Lewis Hamilton drives. So I'm just going to set that as the right answer. If you want to add, oh yeah, there is also the AI option. So you can get AI to create questions for you. You can put an image in if you want to say, I don't tend to do that because it's too difficult for my eyes to manage. And if you want to, you can put in an explanation. You can also allow more than one selection, and I'll show you in a minute why sometimes that can be really, really helpful. So once again, it's simply create. And then we have the second part. And remember, you're building this all up within the same session.
Obviously, we've got about 30 seconds, Jane.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So we've done that. Once again, we're going to go to full screen. We're going to go, oh, sorry, open poll. There we go. So thank you, everybody. So once again, full screen, open and closing from here. And if I click on show results, then it's showing the results as they're coming in real time. So obviously I'm running hugely out of time now. It's very difficult to do this in 10 minutes, can I say? So listen, I'm just going to close the poll. I mean, obviously the right answer was the last one, but Ferrari's fair enough. I just want to show you very, very quickly now, if we go back to other sessions, what I've done here is where they can choose. So I get them to tell me out of these data protection, which of these statements are principles of the Data Protection Act. And they can go away, they can Google, they can do this before the session. So they can do it asynchronously, and then we can discuss it afterwards. And it gives me the opportunity then to actually go through and explain what each of these statements actually means and where they come from. And then finally, which I said to you, where we might want to give them the option to choose more than two, I do a parachute game where I give them, each group has an element of critical evaluation. They make a presentation to the rest of the class about why their element is the most important part of critical evaluation. And then they get 2 votes on that. So they vote for themselves and then they have to vote for one another. That's it. That was the most whistle-stop tour of Vevox you're ever going to get. I would also like to say that it works seamlessly with Teams. It works seamlessly with PowerPoint. So it makes it all very, very easy. And you can see how very easy it is to use. Phew, done.
Thank you so much, Jane. Unfortunately, we've run over into the question time, so we haven't got time for questions, but there are lots of questions in the chat. So if you could take a look at those.
Yeah, I will go through all of those questions and answer them.
Thank you so much. And yeah, that was really great. And to fit all that into 10 minutes, you did a fantastic job. So well done. And it's great to see so much engagement from everyone. We've got over 500 people here in the session and well over half engaged. So that's amazing. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you.